Okay, today we will discuss basic probability theory, which you have already studied in your mathematics. Slightly the extension of that, that is Bayesian networks and how to draw the inference using Bayesian networks. Okay, what are the objectives? So you will be able to represent the problems in terms of probabilistic statement. Then you will also apply Bayes rule, and you'll be able to draw the Bayesian network as well. Okay, then how to draw the inference. This also we are going to learn today. Yeah, coming to the basic probability theory, the first thing is what is uncertainty. So it can be defined as, all of you know the definitions. Uh, so it is unavoidable in everyday reasoning and in many real world domains. So it is defined as many of the simplifications that are possible with deductive inference are when it is no longer valid. Okay. What are the sources of uncertainty? So we can list two. One is imprecise knowledge, the other one is unreliable knowledge. These are the sources of uncertainty. Now, coming to probability theory, okay, um, the basic definition of this is it reflects the likelihood of an event or a chance that a particular event will occur. So this is the basic definition which you people have studied. Okay, let us denote the probability of an event A. Okay, probability of an event A. Okay, so how do we represent that? P of A is equal to number of outcomes, favorable to A. Number of outcomes favorable to A divided by total number of possible outcomes divided by total number of possible outcomes. This is the basic definition. Okay, so the probability of an event A, which is represented by P of A, which is equal to number of outcomes favorable to A divided by total number of possible outcomes. Okay, now let us discuss some of the axioms of this probability theory. Yeah, so which are they? So here we must know that S is a sample space and A and B represent events. S is a sample space. A and B are events. Okay. So which are they? So this is the first one. The probability of A should be greater than 0. Okay, this is the first thing. All of you know this. Second one is P of S is equal to 1. Then P of A bar or not A, okay? P of A bar, this we represent sometimes in this way also, is equal to 1 minus P of A. That is the third one. Next comes this one. If, okay, we can, this another form I can write, you may be knowing it. P of A is equal to P of A plus P of B if events are mutually exclusive. If events are mutually exclusive. Okay. So here, if in this case, if A and B are not mutually exclusive, okay, this is known as the addition rule of probability. So this is the first thing. This is the second one. Normally, this is the third one, and these two are the fourth one. These are the axioms of probability. Now let us discuss what is joint probability and conditional probability. Joint probability and conditional probability. These two terms are important, okay? Joint and conditional. Joint probability and conditional probability. So first, joint probability, okay? First, we'll discuss what is joint probability. It is the probability of occurrence of two independent events occurring together. Okay. So it is the probability of occurrence of two independent events occurring together. See, probability of occurrence of two independent events. They are independent events occurring together. Okay. So if A and B are two independent events, then we can say that, we can write that Pi and B is equal to P of A into P of B if two events are independent. This is one of the definitions of joint probability. If the two events are independent, events are here independence. And we can also write P A or B is equal to P of A plus P of B minus P of A into P of B. Okay. So just keep in your mind what is joint probability. Joint probability is the probability of occurrence of two independent events occurring together. This is important. Okay. Now let us see what is conditional probability. Conditional probability. This is probability of one event, probability of one event depends on the probability of other event. It's very simple. Okay, you must know you must understand this word. Okay, it is conditional probability. So if probability of one event if probability of one event depends on the probability of other event, then we say there exists conditional probability. Okay. So this concept of conditional probability relates the probability of one event to the occurrence of another. It is the basic definition is the probability of the occurrence of an event H provided an event E. Okay. So normally we represent it as probability of H given E. Okay. So probability, this is how we define the conditional probability. Probability of H given E. Probability of H given E. Now, what is probability? How we write the expression, we will see. Probability of H given E is, we can write it as number of events. I'll write using some other color. Number of events favorable to H, which are favorable to E, which are favorable to E. Number of events favorable to H, which are favorable to E, divided by number of events favorable to E. So this is the basic definition of conditional probability. If we just represent it by P, H, probability of H given A, then we can write it as number of events favorable to H, which are also favorable to E, divided by number of events favorable to E. Okay. So let me just derive one simple expression using this definition. So here, P of H given A is equal to P of H and A divided by P of E. So this is the definition which we have seen. So P of probability of H given A is number of events favorable to H, which are also favorable to E. That is why we have written in the numerator P of H and E divided by number of events which are favorable to E, P of E. Okay. Now what I can write is P of H given E is equal to E into P of E. I can write it as P of H and E. Okay. So P of H given E is equal into P of E is equal to P of H and E. Let me call this equation 1. Now similarly what I can write is, probability of E given H is equal to probability of E and H divided by probability of H, just similar to the first expression. So now using this, what I can write is, I'll write here P probability of given H is equal to, into probability of H is equal to probability of E and H. Right? So let me call this equation number 2. Okay, now what we can do is we can equate equation 1 and 2. If we do so, what do we get? If we equate if we equate equation 1 and 2, we will get probability of H given E into probability of E is equal to, one second, probability of H given E into probability of E is equal to probability of E, prob probability of E given probability of E given H into probability of H. Okay, so hence we can write probability of H given E is equal to probability of E given H into probability of H divided by probability of E. So what I want to say is, this is a very, very important concept. Okay. Probability of H given E is equal to probability of E given H into probability of H divided by probability of E. This is very, very important concept, and this is called okay. This is called Bayes theorem. All of you might have studied this in your lower classes. So what is Bayes theorem? This is the representation of Bayes theorem. Okay. So here, one thing is, by we should have the past data, or we should have the um, values for probability of H, probability of uh, E, okay, probability of H, probability of E, and this term also we should have. This past data, if we can get, then we can calculate the probability of H given E. Okay, we will do one problem based on this now. Okay, same thing. This here I have represented the whatever I have derived Bayes rule. Okay, so what is this one? You can just see here Bayes theorem. Probability of B given A is probability of A given B into probability of B divided by probability of A. Similarly, okay, this is the same thing, whatever we derived, same thing. Okay, now I'll solve one problem. If you want, you can take down this problem. Okay, the doctor is aware of the fact that meningitis aware of the fact meningitis, I'll represent it by M. Okay, might cause the patient might cause the patient to have stiff neck as for 50% of the time. The doctor is also aware that prior probability of patient having meningitis is 1 by 50,000 and the prior probability of patients having stiff neck is 1 by 20. Determine the probability of meningitis given stiff neck. Okay, so this is a simple problem which with which we can understand Bayes theorem. So here, so what are the data we have now? So based on doctor's experience, so this is the data he is giving, and this is another data which he is giving. This is the third data he is giving. So that means I can write P of M from the data. P of M is 1 by 50,000. Okay. Then P of S given M is 50%. So this is 0.5. Okay. The fact that meningitis might cause the patient to have stiff neck. Let me try to understand this sentence. M might cause patient S, right? So that is, it is M is causing S. So M is given. Okay, so probability of S given M is 0.5. Then what else is there? Probability of S is there. That is 1 by 20. So now what is asked to determine is probability of M given S. So we can write probability of M given S is equal to just the opposite. We must have this data, probability of S given M into probability of, sorry, 1 second. Probability of M divided by probability of S. So it is 0.5 into 1 by 50,000 divided by 1 by 20. So probability of meningitis with stiff data is, you will get, I think if you calculate, you will get 0.002. So what is the meaning? So here the probability of meningitis with this patient having a stiff neck. Okay, so patient having stiff neck data is given with these symptoms. If they come, the probability of having meningitis is only 0.002. This is how we make use of Bayes theorem for the just to calculate the probability by assuming or by making use of the past data or by making use of the prior probability. Okay, only keep in your mind that we must have this prior probability. With this only we can calculate the conditional probability. So based on conditional probability, based on this S, we are calculating. Yeah. Okay. Now let us go ahead. With this basic introduction of Bayes theorem, I'm just going to start Bayesian networks. So what are these networks? This is it's very important and interesting as well. Okay, so here it represents dependencies among random variables. What is a random variable? It's a variable whose values depend on outcomes of a random phenomenon. Okay. So it gives a short specification of conditional probability distribution. Now you have seen what is conditional probability. So it gives a short specification of conditional probability distribution. Okay, so some many random variables may be conditionally independent. Let us see what is conditionally independent, what is conditionally dependent. All these things we will discuss. So it simplifies computation. So it's a graphical representation. Please note that this is graphical representation. Graphical representation. So we are going to use DAG. The DAG, it is directed acyclic graph. Directed acyclic graph. Okay. So we are using DAG, and we are going to find out the causal representations. Okay, causal relationships. So finally, we are going to make some inferences. We are going to draw some inferences based on the network structure. Okay. Okay, so here I'll take up a problem instead of explaining these things. Um, okay, I'll just write 2-3 points about Bayesian networks. We also call it as belief networks. Another name, Bayesian belief networks. This is another representation. So here what we will have is, we will have set of nodes. Okay, we will have a few arcs just to connect these nodes, and normally these arcs we connect it, uh, we connect these nodes, then we have some conditional independence relations. Conditional independence relations. Okay, there may be causality as well. Okay, okay, this is, as I said, so here nodes a set of random variables. So here arcs set of a set of directed links, or arrows. Okay, which you connect between a pair of nodes. If there is an arrow from node, say x to y, suppose this is x, like this, if there is a connection, so this is a node, x is a node now, y is a node. Okay, so you are connecting x and y through this arc or through this link. So now here you know that x is said to be parent of y. Okay. Okay, graph is, as I have told in the previous slide, it is directed acyclic graph. We call it as DAG. And please note, there may be causality as well between the nodes. Okay. So now I'll take one simple example so that you will understand. A, C, B, D. So this is the simple example for Bayesian belief network. Okay. So here C and D. Okay. So A is the parent. For C, A is the parent. For D, A and B. See the connection, how the arrows are there. For D, A and B are the parents. For C, A is the parent. Okay. So here, A and B, we call it as unconditional nodes. A and B, we call it as unconditional nodes. Or it is also known as evidences. C and D, it is conditional nodes, or we also call it as hypothesis. Okay, just keep this in your mind. Okay, A and B unconditional, whereas C and D conditional, because it is clear C and D, it depends on A and B. Because A and B, they do not have any parents, that is why they are unconditional. Okay, now for this particular problem, so this the data is given like this. So, okay, the following probabilities are given. Following probabilities are given. Okay, so what is given? You can take down P of A is given, the probability of occurrence of A 0.3, P of B, it is 0.6, then P of C given A, this is 0.4, then P of C given not of A 0.2. That means if you assume this is to be true, A is true or A is A occurs, so here A doesn't occur, that is the condition. A is false, that is 0.2. Then similarly P of D given A and B, because we know that for D we have A and B are the parents. Okay, so the probability is 0.7. Similarly P of D with A and not of B, it is 0.4. Similarly, P of D given not of A and B, it is 0.2. And last P of D with not of A, not of B is 0.01. See, if we just consider the conditions to be Boolean, then it is like we know, we can always write true, 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 false, false, true, and false, false. Okay, based on these conditions, we have here false, true, false, false, true, false, and true, true. Because A and B are the parents for D, so for all the cases you will get. Okay, so these are the data given. You are given Bayesian network, you are given the probabilities. Okay, so you are given prior probabilities and conditional probabilities as well. So with this, what you are asked to determine is, okay, you have to calculate the joint probability. Okay, you are asked to calculate the joint probability. How to do that, we will see. So you are now asked to calculate the determine joint probability. You are asked to calculate joint probability. P, A, B, C, E. This you have to be determined. You have to determine. Okay, this is the objective. Now here, one thing I want to tell is, we have four variables A, B, C, D. We have four variables or four nodes. So if we, how many probability values here we have? We have only 8 probability values to represent this Bayesian network. Okay. So otherwise, if it is not this Bayesian networks, you would have had 16 values to require to represent this general structure, because it is 2 to the power how many nodes? 4. So 16. Because if you have 4 variables, So A, B, C, D. Then if you want to represent all the conditions starting from 0, 0, 0 or false, 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 false. So till you go true, 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 true. So there will be 16 conditions you would have had. But here we have only 8 conditions. So here we have 1, here we have 1. So this is again the condition. We have only one parent, right? So this is 1. I'll write here. This is 1. This is 1. So here we have true or false because it has one parent 2. So here it has 2 parents. Since it is 2 parents, false, 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 true, true, false, true, true. So 4. So 4 plus 2, 6, 6 plus 2, 8. Now the 8 only we have 8 possible values. So I'll just write it here. It's an important concept. Okay, there are 8 probability values. There are 8 probability values to represent Bayesian belief network, in contrast to 16 values required in general for 4 variables A, B, C, and D in case of this joint distribution probability. That is why this 16 to 80, that is the feature of this Bayesian belief network. That is why we call it as, it is the compact representation. Bayesian belief network, we call it as compact representation of this. Okay, that is the reason. Now we'll calculate joint probability P of this one. So in order to calculate the joint probability, what you must know is, see, you have to write a simple expression. I will tell you how to write it. It's very simple. So P of A, B, C, D is equal to, so let me start with the D. P of D given A, B, C. Okay, I'll rewrite again a simple expression. Okay, this is not the final expression, into P of C, A, B into P of B, A into P of A. But here, for this particular network, I can write it in this way because it depends on the structure. So P of A, B, C, D is equal to P of, we know that for D, A and B are the parents, right? Into, for C, we have parent A, into, whereas B and A, they do not have, they are independent. So you can simply write P of B into P of A. You can just keep this, I'll just go back. Okay, see here for C, it is, you have to write C, probability of C given A. For D, probability of D given A and B. Whereas for B and A, since they are unconditional nodes, you have to just make use of the prior probability. Okay, so this is the expression. Now you can write whatever it is given based on that. I think if you just substitute, you will get I think 0.7 into 0.4 into 0.6 into 0.3. So this is, I think you will get 0.0504. Okay. So this is the simple calculation of joint probability. Joint probability is occurrence of all these events together. What is the probability of all these events occur together? Okay. Now I'll give one more problem. You just try to solve it. There are some more calculations involved that only joint probability I'm doing it. Other things I'm not doing. Okay. Just take this problem and try to solve. Consider an alarm system. Consider an alarm system installed in a house that can be triggered by 3 events. Earthquake, burglary, and tornado. Okay, I hope you have taken down. Consider an alarm system installed in a house that can be triggered by 3 events: earthquake, burglary, and tornado. It is given. Now I'll give you the conditional probability table if you have taken down this. You have to solve this afterwards, okay? Done. I'll go to the next slide. Okay, this is the conditional probability table. So PE and PB, which are independent, so they are the prior probability is given 0.4 and 0.4 and 0.7. Okay, so independent. Whereas D depends on E, that is why this is the second case. Since D probability of D depends on E. So for both the condition true and false, it is given. Whereas the alarm, it depends on earthquake, burglary, and tornado. That is why all the 8 conditions are considered here. So it is like 000 to 111. Okay, in your digital circuits, false, false, false to true, true, true. All the values, probability values are given. So what you have to calculate is it is very simple. You have to calculate the joint probability A, comma B, comma C, comma D. Okay. So this, if you calculate, it will be, it's very simple for this particular problem. It will be, I'll just write here. So it is, now for A, you should have E, comma B, comma D. And for probability of D, we must have E and into the prior probabilities of PE and PB. Okay, just if you calculate this, you will get the answer. I think it is, the answer for this is 0.214. The probability of D, joint probability A, comma B, comma C, comma D. If you calculate, you will get 0.214. Just check whether you are getting the answer or not. Okay. Hope you would have got the answer, right? Now, one more thing I want to discuss. So it is also interesting because this Bayesian network itself is a very, very vast topic. Okay, we can't discuss everything in this. So whatever is important, I will just discuss. So now, what I want to discuss is inference using Bayesian belief networks. Okay, what is the inference? Now, I just want to write 4 things here. Okay, one is P of E given A, one P B given A, P of A given EB, P of C given D. See here, in the previous, this one, if you just see that the diagram for Bayesian network, if you see, I'll just draw it once again. So you had E, you had D, you had B. Okay, so this is alarm, and this is the parent for this, and there is a condition. And it's a simple representation. We have earthquake, burglary, and tornado. So here the meaning is that, sorry, what is the meaning here? So the tornado may be caused even due to earthquake. Okay, this tornado, this is it may be caused even due to earthquake. See here, and this is burglary. Burglary may cause alarm. Okay, this alarm system, this may cause alarm. Earthquake may cause alarm. But see here, of course, tornado may cause alarm, but see this condition. Okay, earthquake may cause tornado, and tornado may cause alarm, right? So here, this is what normally we say. There is a concept called conditionally independent. Okay. See, E and B, they are independent. there is no relation between E and B, because earthquake is not causing burglary. But here, when you see this condition, based on the condition of this earthquake, okay, it may cause tornado and it may cause alarm. Okay, E and D, they are there is a direct connection between this. E and A is also there. So this also there is a, based on the condition that it gets connected. Okay. Now, what is the inference we have to draw from this Bayesian networks? I have listed here 4 points. I can list many here. So just to for understanding, see what is P probability of E given A. So we have seen in our previous problem, A is due to E, right? Just try to understand. A alarm will ring if there is an earthquake. But this is the other way, just opposite to this. What is the inference you can draw if it is given P, E, comma A? The meaning is probability that is an earthquake. See, probability that is an earthquake. Okay, it is an earthquake. Given the alarm is ringing. Given the alarm is ringing. Say, in other words, I'll try to explain. Say the alarm is ringing. Is it due to earthquake? Is it due to tornado? Is it due to burglary? That we don't know. But if you calculate probability of E given A, the meaning is that probability that is an earthquake given the alarm is ringing. Same thing here. See, this is probability of burglary. This is probability of burglary given the alarm is ringing. Alarm is ringing. What is the probability that it is a burglary? Similarly, all these things you can calculate. It is possible to calculate with this data, whatever the data we have given, conditional probability table, we can make use of that and we can calculate this. But the third point is, what is the probability of the alarm ringing? Here, what is the probability of the alarm ringing if both earthquake and burglary occur? Okay. So for last one is this E. What is the probability that it is an earthquake given that there is a tornado? Okay. So based on this, this is how you should know how to read it and how to calculate this. I am not doing it now. Later we'll see. If time permits, I will do it. But you must know how to draw the inference when a network is given. Now I'll go to one more simple example. I'll try to explain that. Okay. So this is what I wanted to do. This is available in your reference book. Okay. From your textbook only I have taken here. It's a simple one. Some explanation I'll give you. You can go through later. So here we have the nodes. There is a burglary. There is earthquake. There is an alarm. So another important what additions they have made is, say the owner of this house is somewhere here. Okay, this is so when the alarm rings here, John calls this owner, or Mary calls this owner, telling that there is an alarm ringing in your house. But it's a fact that John may not call all the time, because whenever he chances are that he may not listen to it. Similarly, Mary also, she may be playing some loud music. She may not hear this alarm sound. She may not call all the time when alarm rings. All these cases are there. But based on those cases, Bayesian network is developed here, and all the prior probabilities, see P of B, P of E, everything is given. Okay. What is the probability that John calls? Okay. What is the probability that Mary calls the owner and tells that there is a alarm ring? Then finally, the conditional probability table is also given. Okay. Probability of A with the burglary and E. Okay. Probability of A with burglary and E. So all the condition true and false both. See, once if you know the condition true here, that is the first column, then second column this first column if you are given, then second column it is easy to find out because that is 1 minus t. The row wise when you add, it should be equal to 1. Okay, that is how normally we calculate the condition for probability table, that false condition. So here, this is another example. You can just try how to read this, how to calculate the joint probability, all these things you can try. One more simple example I want to give here, the last example which I want to give, the Bayesian network. So this is also, I have taken it from one of the books, Late Wake Up. Okay, it's a condition, late for work, late for meeting. So this may be accident on highway. There may be it may be a rainy day. All the causes we are putting here. There may be a traffic jam. Okay, something like this. If I join, say, late wake up will lead to late for work. Late for work will lead to late for meeting. Accident on highway. This may be due to a rainy day. It may be because of rainy day. So these both might cause this traffic jam. So this in turn may cause late for work. This may cause late for me. So this is how you can write the Bayesian belief network. You have to draw the network. Okay. So here again, which are you can make out conditionally independent relations you can have. See this late wake up, and this one, they are purely, they are independent. There is no connection. Okay. So please note that there is a connection between late wake up and late for meeting. There is a condition depends upon this. Okay, based on this late for work, there is a condition. This is conditionally independent relationships. Okay, so like this, any problem, any application problems you can draw using Bayesian network, and you can draw the relation. If you know the probabilities, the only thing is you must have the data. You must have the past data. Okay, past data you have, then only the probability of these things you must know. Otherwise it is difficult to calculate. For example, you have the prior probability of this one, accident on highway, or maybe the rainy day. What is the probability that there will be a traffic jam due to these conditions? Okay, all these things, if you have the past data, then prior probability, then you can calculate all the relations. As I've told in my previous slide, you can just, in this way, you can draw the inference. What are the different inferences you can draw for all these conditions? This is a simple network I have drawn with only 4 nodes. Okay. Then one more thing I want to tell, one more application which I found in this, in your uh, some of the books, say application. If I just discuss in the medical field, diagnosis. So a person comes with this. So what are the symptoms? There may be weight loss. If he has cancer, then this may there may be a tumor. Then there may be, for this tumor, there may be other causes. Okay. So all these things, the based on the type of based on the disease type or based on the application, you have to develop the network. Okay, what are the conditions? What are the probable condition? This may not be due to this. Okay, what are the probable condition? So all the associated things you have to draw. Then you have to make use of the maybe experience of the doctor may give you some the prior probability. All these things, the chances are there he can get, or maybe the data, or maybe the experience. from the database you can get all these points and you can do the prediction. Okay, so a simple example, if you see, you can make use of this Bayesian networks for prediction purpose. How? So what is the probability that, what is the probability, or is the probability that this patient has tumor? Similarly, in the other way also you can draw. So patient comes with tumor, so you can say, is it due to cancer? Is it due to other problem? Is it due to, like this you can draw, okay? Similarly, the other applications you can make use of this Bayesian networks for decision making. Okay, suppose you say in one of our say labs, a machine is not working. So what are the reasons for machine, say synchronous motor, it is not working? What may be the reason? You have to develop one diagram, the graphical representation. What are the different causes? What is the, all this you have to represent. Probability, you have to put, okay, the prior probability you have to put, then you have to come to a conclusion that what is the probability that the machine is not working, due to what? So various reasons. Like this, you can draw the inference. Okay, I think this much is enough for today. I have covered this. On the, just let me see what is there in your syllabus. These are the things which is mentioned: uncertainty, the basic probability, axioms, Bayes rule, Bayesian networks, inference in Bayesian networks. All these topics are covered. I think it's enough for today. Just take attendance. Okay. Next week is your mid-sem exam. Okay, no classes. After that, I will continue. Some more topics are, some more simple topics are left: knowledge engineering, ontological engineering, and all. Okay, after your mid-sem exam, it is, I think next class will be on 19th May. Today is 8th. Okay, next week exam. So next to next, yeah, 19th. Okay, that's all for today. You may leave. Anything, any doubts if you have, you can ask.